You are sitting in the presence of someone who has read 3,000 letters by Ben Thompson and some uncounted number of thousands of pages of his essays and ruminations. So I spent a long time in his presence. And just to fill in a few of the blanks that were sketched in this reading, the Universal Spelling Book by John Fowle was in fact his textbook when he was a student. He did in fact get introduced to her. That is exactly how many dollars she was worth. She did own one Negro and a curricle, etc. All of that is accurate. There is in fact nothing I invented here, except of course for their conversations and the nature of their courtship that I allowed myself to embroider. But this book is pretty deeply steeped in fact. I won't rehearse, because there's a finite period, how long it took me to fall in love with and enthrall to this man. But you are probably in the presence of the world's ranking expert on the life of Benjamin Thompson, 1753 to 1814. He fascinated me for a whole bunch of reasons. And my first impulse was to write a biography, was to write a work of researched nonfiction, because I do that from time to time also. But in fact, it had been done and well done by others who focused on what is his principal role in the history of science. I mean, he is a scientist, and some of the stuff he was studying there are still consequential discoveries. And I thought to myself, well, there's not much that I could say about him that would be interesting and new. When you have written as many books as I by now astonishingly appear to have, you do tend to want to find some subject beyond the confines of the self in order to keep writing, because there are only so many volumes that you can write about yourself that remain fascinating, at least to you and implausibly to others. I mean by this that the more deeply I got lost in the data of his life, the more engaged I was in the prospect of reinventing it. So it was a kind of pas de deux. Every time I acquired a new piece of information, like that line, I thought, I can write that scene,